because as we know with Caltrans, they didn't say no.
Yay!
And in fact, they said the sky's the limit. And that's for our opening ceremony. And then as the meeting progressed, we found out that actually it's not their responsibility. It's actually the contractor who owns the road and everything until they assume responsibility. So it's very easy for them to say, sky's the limit. Oh yeah, do whatever you want. Anyway, but we are going to have an opening ceremony for the Highway 4 bypass. Now, we haven't heard yet. It's early and it's under budget. Totally amazing. So it was actually supposed to be next year, and then they thought that it would probably be sometime later this fall. We got a phone call that it's actually July 22nd is the current proposed date. Now that may slide around a little bit and so forth. Whenever you have construction projects, they will, move a little bit. But right now, it's looking like July 22nd. So we are scrambling. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow. We've got Angels Camp Business Association representatives, branding. We've got Colorado Visitors Bureau, a whole bunch of different entities that are coming together to put together an opening day ceremony. So if you have any ideas you might like to see, please give me a call. Some of the thoughts are a fun run, having kind of a party, maybe different types of foods, things like that. Having a processional of old cars with city residents and so forth going across first. As far as for the official ceremony, Caltrans will be handling that. And since this is the very first Proposition 1B project to be completed in the state, there is a good chance that Governor Schwarzenegger may be able to attend. So, if that's the case, then we will have statewide coverage, and it'll be a great time to showcase Angels Camp, making our activities even more important. Okay, so that's the bypass opening. Also wanted to update you briefly on the facade grants. The state, for those of you that don't know, the city was able to procure a $300,000 facade grant to help out with providing grants to local businesses to fix up the furniture stores. This is the first time the state has done this, so it's been a very slow, tedious process. They're kind of making up things as they go. But we have gotten some guidance on the architect and responsibilities, so we now have the RFP, which is request for proposals, ready in draft form to be reviewed, approved, and then sent out so we can get this process going. So anyway, it is progressing. So those of you that are tracking it, it is moving at snail's pace, but it is moving. All right. Any questions? Anything related? Yes?
I understand that a very unusual thing has occurred in Calaveras County. You're actually in the bypass under budget and ahead of schedule. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Explain yourself, sir.
Well, I'm sure it's by accident. No, actually, I think a lot of it has to do with Caltrans. They go out and they got the lowest bidder. In this case, there was a company called Tiger that was the bidder. They're a very professional company, lots of experience, very capable organization. They're moving very quickly. And then also I think the economy had a lot to do with it too. Because what happens is when there's a lot of business, they get spread kind of thin and things don't move quite as fast. Also, materials, supplies cost more. Well, we've actually seen that turn around where there has been a reduction in cost. So right now, construction, labor costs, supplies, and so forth are actually at a lower rate. So if you need to build something, now's a good time to do that. And that's actually one of the reasons that the city is looking at doing some additional sewer projects at this time to kind of capitalize on that lull that we're in right now.
This is on the bypass. Like on the south, where it comes into 4, it's like she comes off the bypass into the wrong way traffic. Well, this is up on the other side.
Okay.
Is it done yet?
No. And actually, that's a great question. There'll be a ramp and you kind of have to jump. Okay, so what we're talking about, this is on Highway 4 as you're heading from Angels Camp up to Murphy's. Okay, if you notice as you're driving up, there is a point where so we're driving towards Murphy's on the right-hand side, you'll see about 6 feet in the air, kind of a flat, leveled off area that they built up. What's going to happen is, once they open up the bypass for traffic, they're going to shut that part down, so you don't have to detour around so they get this built. What they're going to do is, that 6 feet up is even with the new bypass. Right across the road, right across Highway 4, they'll put in a new section of road, and where all those rocks are up on the right-hand side, that will actually be a road that will follow around and connect Highway 4 down the bottom. So what's going to happen is, when you're driving from Angels Camp towards Murphy's, you'll be on the old Highway 4, but then you'll go around to the right, you come around the curve, and you come into a T intersection with the new Highway 4. There'll be a stop sign there.
Where they put that bridge thing in the
Yes.
pipes and stuff.
Right. So there'll be
So they just haven't paved that.
correct. So we haven't done that part yet, and that won't be done until we're able to travel on the other part. And even after they open on the 22nd, there will be lane closures, there's some cleanup work, there's going to be a number of things going on. So it'll be open, but it won't be complete.
So if you take the bypass from the north end of town,
Okay?
can you get off the bypass and do anything other than go east on 4? Can you come back and do that at that, what you're talking about? So you can, where that T is going to be, you can also turn right as you come off and then come back into town?
That is correct. Yes.
That's a little.
And if you were coming back down from Murphy's, there will be a left turn lane. You could actually get a left turn lane and then turn onto that, and then
You
come
don't
back.
have to take the bypass, you can still come into town.
That is correct. Oh, and you bring up a good point too. One of the things the city council is considering right now is what we're going to name that old park, because it's going to be relinquished to the city. And so one of the things that was put forward by the branding leadership team was Angels Creek Way. And the idea there is that as you're going down, there'll be an exit sign, say something. And whatever that is, maybe might be somewhat enticing for people to get off. It was suggested that we call it Free Beer Road. It seemed that it could go.
Does the contractor get a bonus for finishing early?
I don't think so. That's a Caltrans question. I'm pretty sure they do not. What the bonus is for them is then they're actually able to take that equipment and then move it to other projects, because they normally have several projects going at any time.
You mentioned traffic going one way, just so, this is a two-part question. So I'm clear, traffic will be able to go on the current Highway 4 either up the hill or down the hill, is that correct?
That is correct, with a slight modification.
And until that second thing is built, are they going to have to close that part of the road? Until that modification you mentioned is built, because that's not going to be done by July 22nd.
Correct.
Will they be closing the road?
Yes.
And are we talking years?
No.
How long do you project?
I do not have a projection on that as far as how quickly it is, but the concept is that they will have everything else built so that they'll be able to just do that pretty quickly. From everything that I've seen and the way that they move forward, it's actually a pretty easy thing to do. They'll be bringing in some fill dirt, some compaction, gravel, paving.
So during that time, to get from Stealthy Park to Murphy's, you'll have to get on the bypass, essentially, go around.
Yes.
And for people to get to Stealthy Park, you'll have to go down the bypass and back around.
Yes. There is a website that Caltrans maintains that has the information related to the bypass on there. I've not checked it recently, but they may have a construction schedule on there. And that's something I could actually ask them to make sure that if it's not on there, that they get something posted as to what'll happen, when'll happen, and what.
If you would please do that, that's a huge impact on businesses in Stokely Park when they can't access that way.
Or downtown.
Okay, other questions?
I mean, there'll be an exit between 49 and where the bypass finishes for.
No, there'll be about 2 miles and no exits. Yeah, it's limited access.
Okay, so the Salty Park exit that they want to talk about is the,
No, it has not. The current drive extension is still part of the traffic circulation plan. If you notice where the 10 stop was, the bridge over the 10 stop, one of the reasons that it's set so wide is to accommodate Kirk Drive to go underneath the bypass and then connect to the emergency area.
okay, great.
Very good. All right, thank you.